In this video, we're talking about the top 5 Logia Devil Fruits in the One Piece world. Since there are only 11 Logia fruits currently known to us, we're narrowing down the list to 5 this time, and start off with the only honorable mention, the very popular Mera Mera no Mi. This is Sabo and the late Ace's Devil Fruit power, which enables the user to conjure fire, and just like any other Logia fruit, it makes the user's body fluid. It has elemental weaknesses, and a lot of these fruits have been shown to exhibit a huge degree of destructive force. And with the Mera Mera no Mi, it is no exception. The user could even destroy multiple ships in one strike. And like all Logias that we've seen so far, except maybe for the Yuki Yuki no Mi, the Mera Mera no Mi has a respectable range. Aside from the usual combat applications, it can also grant safety with the help of a literal firewall. With all of its destructive power and appreciation from the fans, including myself, I had to mention the Mera Mera no Mi in the top Logia fruits list. And now we start off the list and get to the fifth position, and it is the Yami Yami no Mi. And to be frank, I put this fruit on the list because it probably helped Blackbeard take control of the Gura Guru no Mi. Otherwise, I don't think that he would have been able to use two devil fruits at one time. Since Lucci mentioned back in the NES lobby arc that one person can only control one devil fruit and would die if he tries to eat two fruits. The Yami Yami no Mi can pull in anything within its range, rendering even devil fruit users unable to use their powers. So even without Haki, the user of the Yami Yami no Mi could hit Logia fruit users. And this ability of the Yami Yami no Mi is what I think played a huge part in taking control over the Gura Gura no Mi. Also, anything that Blackbeard pulls in his darkness comes out crushed. So even if it doesn't seem like the Yami Yami no Mi is destructive enough, it can destroy anything that it could pull in. Which was shown when Blackbeard used his black hole technique back in the Banalo Island when he was demonstrating his powers to Ace. And he did it in a huge area, which cleared out the whole town. Which is why we have it at number 5 on the list. Next, we have the Hiye Hiye no Mi, Aokiji's Devil Fruit. It enables Aokiji to create ice, and it can freeze anything within a very large area. This might have the longest range among all of the Logia fruit powers that we have seen so far, because Aokiji was able to freeze the whole ocean and connect one island to another. And by doing this, he can travel the seas fairly safely. It's pretty strong considering Aokiji was able to match evenly with Akainu, even though Ace was able to melt his ice instantly in their small skirmish back in the Marineford War. It can also be quite accurate considering how Aokiji froze everything except Smoker when he saved him from Doflamingo. And speaking of freezing Doflamingo, it was very weird because Doflamingo was able to break through the ice. I say this because I was under the impression that only characters with a power that would be able to break or melt the ice would not be frozen. Because back in the Marineford War, when Aokiji froze Whitebeard with his ice ball technique, Whitebeard broke the ice, and Aokiji mentioned, "It seems I can't freeze a Quakeman." I doubt that it would be because Doflamingo is super strong and he was able to break through the ice, because Aokiji was able to freeze Jaguar D Soul, the giant vice admiral that washed ashore in Ohara and befriended Robin. But whatever the case may be, Aokiji's ice fruit is still very useful and powerful, freezing its spot on number 4. We flash forward and talk about the Pika Pikanomi. It's Kizaru's devil fruit, enabling him to move at the speed of light. This speed could also be utilized to amplify the strength of his physical attacks. He could even quickly charge up a laser beam that can be shot at a targeted area, creating a huge explosion. The Pika Pikanomi is so powerful that it was able to destroy the ice that Aokiji made back in the Marineford War, in the attempt to sink Law's submarine. Further evidence of the fruit's strength is the laser beam that Kizaru used with his kick, which destroyed the massive Yarukiman mangrove trees back in the Sabodi archipelago. Kizaru was able to use the fruit defensively as well. When Marco kicked him in the Marineford War and sent him straight into a big building, before the impact, it seemed to me that he used his power to destroy the building, lessening the damage that he took from Marco's kick. And the most insane thing about this fruit is that Kizaru was able to fire these lasers at a very high clip. And even after doing that, it didn't even seem like it took any of his energy. This power can also come in handy in dark places, so if Kizaru ever decides to take a trip to the Fishman Island, he would not need Frankie's nipple lights. He can just illuminate himself and move forward. And with all of these put together, Kizaru lights up the third spot on this list. Next, we melt away the competition as we discuss the Magumagunomi, Akainu's devil fruit. It's one of the most powerful abilities in the One Piece world, being able to melt Aokiji's ice as well as the ground itself, making a tunnel for the user to pass through underground. Its combat usage is crazy. It's like a volcano erupting into a huge targeted location only. The force of the impact that comes from the volcanic rocks are insane, not to mention how it melts everything it comes in contact with. Even one of Whitebeard's ships was destroyed when one of these rocks fell on it. The Magumagunomi is so strong it can even deflect shots from the Guraguro no Mi. Akainu even used his fruit to slide and chase down Jinbei while he was trying to save Luffy. He was so smooth, it would be easy for him to get into your girl's DMs. But all jokes aside, the Magumagunomi is so strong it was able to ruin the weather in Punk Hazard, along with Aokiji's Hiya Hiya no Mi of course. And with these feats, the Magumagunomi vaporizes the second spot. And finally, for the top spot on this list, we have the electrifying Goro Goro no Mi. This is Enel's devil fruit power, and it makes Enel's body become electricity, helping him create powerful attacks and even boost his mantra. This is the only devil fruit power so far that could boost Haki, which makes it pretty unique, because it utilizes the sound waves that move in the air itself, widening the range of his observation Haki. And aside from that, it can create strong bolts of lightning, big enough to destroy the ruins of Chandra, and creating up to 200 million volts of electricity. To put that into perspective, 200 volts can electrocute you, and 50 volts can stop your heart. So imagine 200 million volts. That's 1 million times more than what's needed to kill an actual human being. Anyway, Enel can even use his ability to move freely and quickly from place to place. He might also be able to travel through water with this, because he was able to move through the gold parts of the Maxim. I'm not sure about this one, but I'm just using the same logic that water and gold can conduct electricity better. But regardless, his electricity can travel through bodies of water, electrocuting everything in there. The massive power can easily eliminate huge groups of enemies, and he can launch attacks from different angles. The fruit can also be utilized to heat metal and forge it into whatever shape the user wants, which was shown to us when he was trying to figure out how he could defeat Luffy, and made a spear out of gold. And with the help of the Maxim, Enel was able to create a great amount of thunderclouds that he used to bring down Arrigo with and destroy the entire Angel Island. Enel also used the Gorogonomi defensively, when he used the Clap of Thunder to negate one full burst from Wiper's Burn Bazooka. And just like all the other Logia fruits we've seen, Enel can fire shots of electricity at any size and at a very high rate. And it didn't even seem to use up any of his energy. And as if that wasn't enough, Enel was able to make his own heart beat with the use of this ability, shocking its way through onto the top of this list. This wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Crush the like button if you did, just like how Enel crushed Angel Island. And comment down below what your favorite Logia fruit is and why. Since you've made it this far into the video, please do subscribe to the channel so it could grow. And lastly, hit the notifications bell because on the next video, we're talking about Zoro after Wano. It's gonna be fun, so I will see you in that conversation. Stay safe now. Peace!